Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Rewind That. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Today we're going to be going over the latest episode of P-Valley Season 2, episode number 6, called Savage. And guys, I just finished watching the episode and I was very, very emotional after it. It was a lot. It was really a lot. I want to say that I do enjoy watching the show, but it's a little darker. It really, really is. I know I've said this in another recap and that someone else brought that to my attention, and I agree. It's heavy to me. It's too heavy to the point where I don't want to say that it's taken away my enjoyment, but it used to bring me some kind of euphoria, and now it's bringing me sadness. So tonight I was seriously in tears. Like, I broke down because just the situation with Teak and his depression and just not being able to adjust to the outside and just all of his pain. He couldn't deal with it. That kind of stuff really touches my heart. And, you know, sometimes life can really get you down and some people can't handle it. That breaks my heart. I deal with my own bouts of depression every now and then, but so for me, I try to be as sensitive to that type of stuff as possible. But man, that suicide stuff is really serious and I hate to hear about it. But anyway, guys, let's get into this episode. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but of course it does start off with our man Diamond getting it in with Big Bone, okay? I mean, getting it in, but he kept thinking about Mississippi. So we still see that he still got feelings for your girl, Mississippi, okay? To the point where he had to flip Big Bone over and try to, do what he had to do from behind because he just kept seeing Mississippi's face. So after they were done, Big Bone goes over to Montavious' ring that Diamond has in his home, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? And she asked about it, and he said, listen, you better leave that alone if you don't want your breast and your back and to be all distorted and everything, your body. And that was pretty much that. But to me, I don't know about her. I think it was someone in my comment section, they said something about her that she might be there on behalf of Montavious, and I thought that was such a good observation, in the fact that she was so into the ring and then asking about it, and then she kept asking him more questions like, why don't you security at the Pink anymore and all that. She's just asking a lot of questions, and I'm looking at that and I'm a little leery of it. So I got my eye on Big Bone. All right, now we're gonna move on to what's going on with Mercedes. I'm just gonna sum everything up that's going on with Mercedes in this episode. Mercedes goes over to bring groceries to Shell's house, and Shell, she got freaking molded oranges in the fridge. The fridge looking like Bebe's Kids, okay? You see that beautiful house? Fridge is empty, looking like Bebe's Kids. In my opinion, I feel like she can probably take Shell to court and get her daughter back. But hey, maybe not, because she doesn't have like a stable situation going on when it comes to money. So probably not, But the point is, if that situation were to come to light, Shell could possibly lose Terrica, because she's clearly an alcoholic now, and she's not even taking care of the house. She's not taking care of the girl. There's no food in the fridge. And then the girl is out and about. Terrica, she's out and about. She don't even really know where the heck she is, When Mercedes came to the house and she found out that Terrica was gone, Shell was like, oh, she's at one of her little friend's house. And Mercedes was like, who, Kalan? I think that's the name she said. And Shell said, who? So we know that Mercedes knows a little more about Terrica when it comes to her friends than Shell does. And listen, guys, I was surprised, honestly, when Terrica showed up, because Mercedes was trying to look, she was looking for Terrica, like, where the heck are you? The girl wasn't calling her back, and I think when she did finally call her back, the call didn't go through or something like that. Meanwhile, she gets a call from Coach, and Coach is like, can we get that Mercedes experience? My wife was really open off of it, and I want to make my wife happy. When she's happy, I'm happy. So we follow Mercedes on over to Coach's house, and, they start getting it in. But before that, Farrah tells Mercedes that she cannot stop thinking about her since that last time they were together. So when they do finally start getting it in, Coach is trying to do his thing with Mercedes, but Farrah was taking over, and Coach steps back like, what the heck is going on? Like, I know enough. Like, you've been cheating on me and all of this stuff. He's like, y'all both broke my heart. He was flipping out. and he was just really pissed off, and the deal is off. You know, he didn't even want to pay her no more. And Farrah was like, you can't break the deal and all that. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that. There was an NDA signed, but that's the non-disclosure agreement. But was there a contract signed saying that she's supposed to get all her money? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Hopefully that wasn't there. But listen, if it's not, then he could definitely stop the payments. He don't need to pay her no more. But Coach is pissed off. But listen, Farrah was right. All of this time you've been chasing your dreams. I've been behind you. You ain't even been paying no daggone attention to me these past 19 years. And you didn't even know that I like the kitty probably even more than you. You know, so I guess she is, bisexual. All right. Didn't know that, but hey, the way she been going at Mercedes, it doesn't seem too far-fetched, okay? So while she was over there telling Coach off, like, listen, I deserve things too, and what about my dreams? You got Mercedes in the back saying, yeah, what about her dreams? You know, so anyway, that whole situation did not go well, guys. And I really want to know how that's going to play out for Mercedes. Hopefully, Farrah will step in and give your girl some more cash, but she probably won't be able to keep it up. I don't know. So before we move on, I forgot to mention that when Mercedes was at Shell's house, she said that she could possibly take Terrica off Shell's hands for a little while. This was after she told Shell that she called Terrica a mistake. And Shell was like, what? I would never do that, this and that, right? So she was like, I can take her off your hands for a little while. Shell was like, you're not slick. There's a difference between being a mother and a parent. I raised her, you know. So, that whole thing didn't work out well. And Mercedes was like, no matter what I do, I'm just never going to be good enough for you, am I? And then she left. And to me, this kind of played into what we heard Jocelyn tell Mississippi in last week's episode when she said, no matter what, people are always going to look at you as if you're a hoe. And that is kind of sad. It doesn't matter what you do, how high you climb. It seems to be true that that's something that people will always lord over your head, which is not cool at all. All right, so now let's finish Mercedes' storyline in this episode. She's taking off her wig. She's sitting at home. She's about to have some Hennessy. I think that was the drink. Then Terrica comes knocking on the door and she's crying and she's like, what the heck is going on? She pulls out the freaking pregnancy stick and bam. I was like, oh my freaking gosh, Terrica been out in these streets doing her thing. All right. Now, I wouldn't say there was a foreshadow of pregnancy when I was watching it in last season when she was like, you want to be 13 and pregnant and all of that stuff. I wouldn't have looked at that as a foreshadowing, but clearly it was, guys. All right, because look at now, she pregnant. And from the looks of the trailer for next week's episode, it looks like she's a little further along. So I don't know what's going on. It sounds like Mercedes wants to possibly get her an abortion, but it looked like she's too far. But anyway, guys, we're going to move past Mercedes. So let's go to Lakeisha Savage, a.k.a. Autumn Nightmare, as Uncle Clifford called her in this episode, okay? She was just straight up a devil in a red dress, and I'm telling you more and more as these episodes go by, I'm just seeing this chick just evil. I don't even know if I'm gonna I don't like her. It's official. I don't like her. We saw her show up at this gala, this black tie affair that she wasn't invited to, but here she was, okay? She showed up and she got in because I think she said that she was Andre's wife, okay? She said, I figured she wasn't going to be here. Of course, Corbin was not happy. I don't understand why Corbin is so pressed by her. I don't like the chick, but I'm just trying to figure out why the heck Corbin is so freaking pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, go sit down some daggone where. So anyway, like he mad she trying to get to the bag, But anywho, I'm mad she trying to get to the bag because she's trying to do it at the expense of other people. Now, she gets kicked out by Corbin. And then she gets herself back in by this rich widow. Now, I don't remember what her name was, but I'm pretty sure we're probably going to hear it again. So the rich widow comes in with her breasts all, bumped up and everything out of that dress she had on. And she got this mouth of a sailor and she just, you could tell she thinks she's the boss around here. Obviously, she holds a lot of weight, okay? The bottom line is Haley tells this lady, listen, I'm Lakeisha Savage. I own the pink. And, I want what's mine. Okay. So she basically made her a deal, like, the pink is about is worth 10 million. That's what I want. The lady is saying, listen, you can have whatever the heck you want as long as I get my casino. So Haley don't care. She's like, listen, I'm getting my money. The casino can go up as far as I'm concerned. Okay. So she leaves that place. Also, Corbin steps in and he says to the widow, what about Andre's endorsement? The lady says, I don't care who's running this little town as long as I get my casino. Okay, so Haley walks away feeling like she's going to get what she want. Andre is also going to get his endorsement. So she finds her way into Andre's house without him freaking knowing. And she can hear Corbin on the phone going off about who the heck does she think she is, this and that and the third. And here she goes, letting it be known that she's all up in this dude's house. So eventually Andre's telling her off and he's like, you go after what you want and you don't care who you hurt in the process, right? I'm just paraphrasing. So he tells her to get the heck out. Before she leaves, he says, I let you win when it came to the auction situation in last season. And he said, I had the upper hand and I could have bid higher, but I let you win. So then she turns into the little seductress that she is. And she says, yeah, you're right, sir. You are the boss and everything. And what do you want me to do? So he tells her to take her clothes off and then crawl and all this. Eventually, they start getting it in. And they play that song Bad by Wale. And it was very befitting. Okay, listen to those words. I'll be good in bed, but I'll be bad to you. So he better really recognize who the heck he's dealing with Haley. Freaking Autumn Nightmare. All right, because she's not to be trusted. All right, so I just hope that he wakes up to that. Do not let this woman Jezebel you. Okay, anywho, let's move on. Now we get to Miss Ernestine, guys, and she's sweating like a mother lover. Uncle Clifford's taking her sugar. He said, it's normal, but why you sweating like that, grandmother? And he also takes her temperature. It's 102. So he calls Toy and he's like, how you doing, girl? And she over there coughing. He said, B, I knew it wasn't no allergies. I had to laugh a little bit because first he was like, how you doing? But then when he heard her coughing, she turned into a B all of a sudden, So anyway, it's looking like my theory about Miss Ernestine getting COVID clearly is what's going on. And I'm over here thinking about Uncle Clifford as well. He's around her, no mask. So I believe he's going to get sick too. We did see Murder enter the house. When he came at the end there, he entered the house. We're going to get to that though, but he entered the house. That's a COVID house now, honey. It's contaminated. So little Murder probably going to be sick. Uncle Clifford going to be sick. Now the question is Miss Ernestine going to die? I hope not, but I unfortunately think that is what's going to happen. All right, so let's move on to Mississippi, what's going on in her house. So we have her man, an abuser and captor, basically. He's leaving the house. He's going to go to some type of function, asks if she want to come, and of course she says no. Like, how the heck you going to ask me if I want to come? Like, you just finished beating me up. But at the same time, he knows she could put makeup on because she used to get beat up all the time and then still go to work anyway. You know what I'm saying? All glammed up and putting that makeup on. So when he leaves, she springs into action. She gets Haley's gun out of the little vent. And, she puts it in the diaper bag and she tries to leave with the kids, but the car doesn't start. So we already know that he's behind this whole situation. This is the reason why I called him her captor as well, because he did something where, the car wasn't working. Dismantled, disengaged, whatever the heck you want to call it. He did something to where the car would not start. Okay. So then he gets home and he's like, hey, what's going on, babe? What'd you do all day? The phone says that you never moved. I'm like, this is just too much, like he got her location and everything. Like, girl, what are you going to do? And she did have the gun in her hand before he came. She heard the car pull up. And she had it in her hand as if she was probably going to shoot him as soon as he came to the door. But clearly, she lost heart with that, no courage. And I'm not saying I want the girl to shoot him now because, listen, if she shoots him, that's another problem for her. Because how the heck is she going to get away with that? It has to be a self-defense situation. All right, we need to figure this out now, okay? We got to figure this out. How you going to get rid of this man without you doing time, okay? Anyway, so that's that. Now let's move on to Teak. Okay, Teak and Little Murder. We do see Teak getting a haircut. Now, I want to know what the heck was going on with this barber burning this man's hair. Like, what in the world? What kind of method is that? Okay, but anyway, he does him good. Got a nice haircut. And then after that, he says the words that I knew was not good. He said, you looking casket sharp. And I said, ugh. here we go again with the freaking foreshadows, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of knew that this was Teak's last episode because of the beginning of the episode where they had the content warning, right? They had nudity in there, of course, and then they had suicide. And when I thought about that, I said the only person that I could think about that would probably kill themselves right now is Big Teak. And that is exactly what the heck happened, guys. All right. And, you know, not easy, just not easy to really talk about this, but it's a show. But listen, these actors are just so brilliant. The way this man portrayed this character, it was just so riveting and sad, guys. Just sad. You can just feel his pain. You can really connect with his emotions and all that stuff. All right. Now, in this episode, we saw Teak going in and out of different emotions. Like we saw him happy. We saw a lot of smiles. We saw him go into his moments of sadness. And, you know, one of the moments of happiness mixed with, you know, tears of joy maybe, or just tears that he knows he's about to take his own life. It was the moment when Lil Murda bought him his car. And they were celebrating him, and, you know, in the parking lot, he did his little spins and everything. Then later on, we hear Lil Murda's song on the radio. Teak was happy about that. He was so excited, and basically Teak was telling him, like, I'm proud of you. I just knew you would have success. You know, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but those are the moments that I'm talking about where Teak is in and out. Like, he's showing the highs and then going to the lows. So, and also he was talking a lot like somebody that was ready to end it, you know, just pretty much talking about, you know, not living for tomorrow. Life is too short. We got to live it like it's your last day, you know, saying all that stuff. And then after they went to his home when he was smaller, where we saw that something tragic happened, we saw him hearing all these voices and stuff. And then when he opened the closet, there was this little boy. You knew it was him, and he had blood on him. We later find out when they go sit by the waterfront that his mom was killing his siblings, which was very sad. We find out that that's what the 3 tears on his face are for: his siblings, his 2 sisters, and his brother. And, you know, he basically ran for his life. And just, like I said, just a very sad, traumatic story. And Little Murda was trying so hard to encourage him, to pull him out of those dark moments that he was having, and it just wasn't working. He kept trying to get rid of Little Murda. He kept trying to let me drop you off here, and, you know, but Little Murda knew. He said, I'm not, listen, I don't think Little Murda knew he was going to kill himself, but he knew that he was going to be beating himself up and going into this dark place, and he didn't want to leave him. So, listen, it came to the point where he's just like, get out the car. I'm not playing with you. And then he put the gun to his head. So it was like, I made up my mind. I'm going to do what I want to do regardless now if you're here or not. And that's really, really sad. So before we get to the whole scene where he finally ends it all, they were on the car in front of the water. And, you know, Little Murda was doing beats and everything. And then they were singing and stuff like that. And then Little Murda slowed it down. And then Teak was singing this other song. And it was pretty cool. And Little Murda was like, who sung that? And he said, that's Little Murda. And he didn't realize, Little Murda didn't realize that that was his song. Like, that ain't mine. That's some slaw, you know, repeating what freaking Mercedes done told him about his music in the past. And, you know, it was something that he wrote on the toilet paper when they were incarcerated. It was a nice song. So Lil Murda tells him, listen, everything's going to be fine. Tomorrow we're going on tour. Things are going to get better. And Teak says, you can have tomorrow. I'm here for tonight, basically. So when they get in the car, that's when he was like, I'm trying to drop you off and everything. So going back to that whole thing. Now, I realized from the very beginning of the episode that Little Murda has on this white suit. And as Teak is, you know, he has the gun to his head, I was like, you know what? If he pulls that trigger, Little Murda is going to get blood on his suit. And it's not to say, oh, he's going to mess up his suit. No, it's just like everything was all set up. You know, when you look at how the show goes sometimes and how writers write, you know, they do everything for a reason. We have this white suit for a reason so that when the blood gets on his clothes, you know, it's a little more dramatic and everything. So I did see that and I was like, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. He's not going to not do it. But I was hoping so bad that he wouldn't. But you can just see it. You saw it in his face. You just heard it in every word that he spoke. And when they finally placed the camera from the inside of the car to now we're looking on the outside of the car, and we just hear the gunshot going off. We see that spark of fire. Of course you knew what was what. And Little Murda gets out and he's practically sick. So now we got to figure out how this is going to affect Little Murda. We don't really need to figure it out. We know it's going to affect him badly. But what is that going to do for his career now? Is his music going to get better? Is his music going to be, more sad? Like, what is it going to do? Is he even going to want to do music? So who knows how this is going to affect him going forward. It's a very traumatic experience for somebody that he clearly cares a lot about to blow their brains out right in front of him. And guys, that is it for my recap. Very, very sad episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Whatever we didn't talk about, I'm going live Sunday night, hopefully around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Keep that notification bell turned on so that you know when I pop up live or when I upload a new video, okay? You guys take care and you be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.